Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day and I really appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me watching my video. If you are new, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you've been around for a while, I just appreciate you coming back and I love you for taking the time to watch. So I hope today's video is helpful. I'm going to be talking about my top 5 favorite face primers for oily skin. So I did film this video about a year ago, but a lot of my favorites have changed. I think only one of these are the same, so I will save that one for the end in case you've already heard me talk about it. But if you guys do want to check out that video, I still love those primers, so I will link it in the description box below. I just think I've discovered even better options for oily skin. So I do have sensitive, acne-prone, oily skin. During the wintertime, it's a little bit less oily, but it's definitely still oily. And face primers are one of my favorite products to try. I just love seeing how they go on, how they make my foundation apply, if they help my skin just look less oily throughout the day. So I'm constantly trying new ones, and I have everything from like drugstore to high-end to share with you guys today. So let's start with my newest favorite, and it is an affordable option. So for those of you that are not looking to spend a ton of money, this might be a great option for you. It is from e.l.f. Cosmetics, and it is part of their Beautifully Bare line. It is a new release, and I think the official name is like their 3-in-1 makeup base or 3-in-1 makeup primer. It's not listed on the packaging, but I will put it on the screen along with the price so you guys can know for sure. So e.l.f. recently released this, so I don't think it's available in drugstores yet. Hopefully they will eventually include it at like Target and other drugstores so you can pick it up in person, but I did order mine off the website because I wanted to try it out. I do like their other face primers, but I feel like they are more so geared toward people who have dry or combination skin because they have a really smooth, slippery feeling to them, so they're not always ideal for people who have very oily skin. This one is a little bit different. It actually goes on like a lotion, so it does have a smooth feeling to it, but it doesn't have that super silicone soft feeling to it. So you blend it into your skin and it feels like a really nice moisturizer, but it really preps your skin for foundation. And I like this because I think it's meant to be waterproof, so it's supposed to keep your oily skin at bay and make sure that your foundation lasts all day long. It definitely makes your skin feel very smooth and very soft, but not overly smooth and overly slippery. So I feel like even if you do have oily skin, it's not going to make your foundation slip and slide all over the place, but it also does a great job at filling in pores or fine lines to give you a really smooth base for I just lost my train of thought, for foundation application. Honestly, I think it's comparable to the next primer that I'm going to mention, which costs a lot more. So I definitely think it's a good option. I feel like it might not be the best, like the perfect holy grail primer for oily skin, but if you're just looking for a good all-around primer that's going to make your foundation go on smoothly, fill in pores and fine lines, and just kind of make your makeup last throughout the day, this is a great option. I also think if you have dry or combination skin, you could benefit from this primer as well. But I really love it. I've actually been using it every single day in place of the next primer I'm about to mention. So the next primer I'm about to mention is the most expensive face primer that I've tried, but it is absolutely amazing. And it is from Hourglass. It is their Veil Mineral Primer. They have a few different options. This is the smallest size. It retails for about $20, and then the 1 ounce size retails for about $54, which is definitely more expensive than any other face primer I own. I tried this out and I love it. It is unlike any other face primer that I've tried. It is so smooth and it leaves your skin with this really just beautiful primed feeling. I guess that's what it's supposed to do since it is a primer, but it is a mineral primer, which is really interesting. It has a very soft, smooth texture to it, but it is so lightweight. It is the most lightweight primer I've tried, which I do enjoy because I wear a very full coverage foundation most of the time. So I feel like when you apply a heavy primer, a heavy moisturizer, a heavy foundation, it's just a little bit too much for your skin, and all of those products together don't always just mix well, and it might look a little bit weird on the skin. This one is so lightweight that you can't even feel it once it's on the skin, other than the fact that your skin is so velvety smooth. It's a really thin, almost liquidy primer, so I wasn't really sure that it was going to do anything for me, but the first time I used it, especially with my Urban Decay All-Nighter Foundation, I fell in love with it. I love to use this around my nose area, my upper lip, between my brows, anywhere where foundation wears off really quickly, because it it makes your foundation last. It's hard to explain, but I would definitely recommend trying this. I love that they do have a smaller option, so you can kind of test it out for like the $20 range before committing to the $54 product, because it is expensive. But honestly, I've had this for a couple months and I'm not even, I mean, I'm about halfway through it, maybe a little bit more, but I just use a very small amount, and I don't use it on my entire face. I just use it on the parts where my skin gets the most oily, because it is a little bit expensive, but it really does work. So another new addition or recent favorite has been from Skindinavia, and it is their makeup primer spray in the oil control formula. I was so excited to try this one out when they sent it to me a few months ago, and they are not sponsoring this video. I definitely didn't have to mention it, but I've really been using it every single day. It's an interesting product because when you have oily skin, you generally think that hydrating mists or setting sprays, I mean not setting sprays, but in general, like I've used a primer water before, and I think it's a good product, but I feel like it's geared toward people who have dry skin. So when I saw that this one was specifically made for people who are trying to control their oily skin, I was really curious about it, and I use it every day. Again, you could totally use this on its own, but I just feel like it's an essential first step in your makeup routine, even if you have another primer that you love, because it gives your skin almost a sticky feeling, so everything else is going to stick to your skin so well. I almost hate to describe it as sticky, because a sticky primer isn't really something that I've looked for, but really in the past I've used a lot of silicone feeling or silicone based primers, and they almost make your foundation slide off throughout the day, which I didn't realize until I tried this. Because this one leaves your skin a little bit tacky, it almost provides like a buffer between your skin and the foundation, so everything clings to the primer, and then the primer clings to your skin, so everything is locked in place throughout the day. And I really do use this every single day, so I love it. I feel like it's a great option. Another affordable option from the drugstore is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Primer. Now this one is going to be for those of you that have extremely oily skin, and that is me more so during the summertime. During the winter it's a little bit less oily, but if you literally have problems with your foundation sliding and slipping right off your skin like from the beginning of the day, you need to try this primer because it is extremely mattifying. This one also goes on almost like a moisturizer, but it is thick, and as soon as you rub this into your skin, you can tell that it's going to keep your oily skin from looking too shiny throughout the day. Again, like I said, it's a little bit thicker, so it definitely prevents the oils from shining through the primer. And the only reason why I don't generally reach for this on an everyday basis is because I feel like it's a little bit heavier on the skin, so when I combine it with a super full coverage foundation, it's a little bit much for me. But I feel like it would be the perfect amount of oil control for those of you that really struggle with oily skin to the point where you're frustrated and you don't know what to do. I love that it is from the drugstore, so it is super affordable, and I wouldn't have tried it except for that you guys were the ones that told me to try it. So thank you for your recommendation. This is definitely something I reach for if it's really hot out or I know that I have an extremely long day ahead of me. So it's a great affordable option. So my last favorite is actually something that I did mention in my last primer favorites video that I did about a year ago, and I think at that time it was like my #1 primer, but I've kind of discovered other ones that I love a little bit more. That being said, it is still on my list, and I reach for it on, you know, not a daily basis, but maybe like a few times a month, and it is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. I feel like this primer would actually be better for those of you that have combination skin because it is a really smoothing primer. So I feel like during the wintertime, occasionally I get dry areas, especially around my nose, not really around the rest of my face because it is oily, but I love this because it does smooth over those dry patches, so you can't really notice them when you apply your foundation, but at the same time it's great for making sure that my foundation goes on smoothly even on spots where my skin is oily and not dry. If you struggle with really large pores or really obvious pores, because a lot of people who have oily skin do struggle with that, this is going to be a great option for you because it will fill in those pores or those fine lines. And also if you struggle with acne, because again, a lot of people who have oily skin struggle with acne, this is going to be a great one for you because sometimes when you have acne and it starts to clear up, your skin can look a little bit dry around those areas, and this will smooth right over those bumps and it will help your foundation just to apply perfectly to those areas. So those are my current favorites. I hope this video was helpful, and if you guys try any of the products that I mentioned, make sure to let me know in the comments below. And also, if you guys have a favorite primer that I didn't talk about, let me know so I can check it out, because even though I've kind of discovered a lot of favorites, I love trying face primers. I love seeing if there's anything out there that works even better for my skin, and they're just one of my favorite things to use. So I would love to hear from you guys about your favorites. Thank you so much for watching. If you do have oily skin, I have a ton of videos on my favorite products for oily skin, so I will link them in the description box below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.